Hello, my name is Carlos, I'm Sprocket314 and I'm here to talk about Keyforge. So Keyforge is a very unique game because it has unique decks. I've played Magic, I've played Star Wars, I've played Battletech, I've played the Spoils. I actually have a very large Spoils collection. And I was very skeptical about Keyforge when it came out. I was in Essen when it was launched. But I didn't even go to the launch, and it was only when I came back to the UK where I realized that this could be interesting. One of the things that was interesting is that a deck costs like £8-9, right? So it was easy to, quite cheap to buy one and have a go. So I did that, and I was very, very, very impressed. I'm very into it. I want to spread the word, and that's why I'm doing these videos. So the format for the videos is I'm gonna be opening packs, doing the unboxing. I'm gonna go through the deck. I'm gonna give my opinion about this particular deck, and I will be giving some tips and advice on strategy on how to play the game. How is this different to Magic and other card games, and also all the resources that are available, where to go to play online, the Crucible. Look at some tools to analyze your decks, like Burger Tokens or the Keyforge Compendium, where you can check all the cards. Just everything you need to know about Keyforge. I'm not an expert. I'm a game designer myself. You can see there the poster for Kalua, my own board game I published. I'm not here to talk about Kalua, I'm talking about Keyforge. It's pretty good. I would like to mention, I have a friend, he runs a shop, and his shop is Firestone Cards in Basingstoke, and so you can check that out, firestonecards.co.uk. The packs there are the cheapest ones you can find in the UK at £7 each, so I would totally recommend you to have a go. So yeah. Let's have a look at, let's open some packs and have a look. Okay, see you. Okay, so now we're gonna choose one of these decks. Let's go for the one in the middle, and let's have a look at what did we get. Let's analyze the deck. There you go. So we got that this Mars Propnar, the queen that grimaces at the Highlands. So I'm going to open this deck and let's see how well we did. Okay, so this is my first ever Mars deck. People have told me I'm also my first ever this deck, and I'm pretty happy that I got this, but not so happy to have Mars. Okay, so let's have a look. So we have this card is very good for fighting, Ixylobolter, so all of these are common ones. Marauder, yes, and all of these ones. Zookeeper is very, very good card. I recommend this one. Very powerful to archive creatures. So you will lose the power of archiving because then you want to keep them in your archives. But if your opponent has amazing creatures, then you can start archiving them one by one if you can keep this alive. So this is a good one. Mind Warper, John Smythe. Yes, I can see that it's pretty much standard stuff for Mars. Key Abduction. Oh, this is one of the famous cards that allow you to cheat. So you can actually forge a key instantaneously. It's very expensive. It says +9 the current cost, but then for every Mars creature that is returned to the owner's hand, yours or the opponent's, you get a discount of 1. So this is a good one to cheat. Flame Wreath, Tentacles, that's pretty good. They have to pay you to use their artifacts. Succubus, classic. Snatch is very, very powerful. This is fantastic. It returns the artifact or flank to the owner's hand. Very annoying. Charette, Dometer Bobo. Poltergeist is also quite good, so I can see now the trend on artifacts. So this is basically an anti-artifact type of deck. So that's pretty good. Discard card, Hand of This, of course. Dance of Doom. Whoa, I don't know this one. Choose a number, destroy each creature with power equal to the number. Oh, interesting, that one. It's a rare. Control the Weak can be quite key at certain times of the game. Then we have Arise, of course. War Drama, Troll, the Rock Hurling Giant, Mugwump. Okay, I've never seen one in real life. That's cool. Cramp, Fast Peter, just not too bad. So I think this is 2 Coward's End. That's quite interesting. And then Brothers in Battle. So basically, I think this is probably not one of my best decks, but the key thing is to analyze it. So you have several tools now online. Like, for example, you can go to burgertokens.com and they have a deck analyzer there, and that website will give you, you can import your deck, and it will give you a number of tables and a number of, for example, the number of, based on the number of creatures that you have in your deck, it will tell you how you are in the curve. If you have many more creatures than the regular deck, or if you have fewer creatures than the normal deck. Same for creatures, same for everything else. Control Amber, generate Amber, artifacts, upgrades, everything. So it gives you an indication of, where are the strengths of your deck. So in this one, let's do this. So basically, I'm gonna separate into creatures and non-creatures. For example, there you go. That's artifact, and this is actions. So this is something that is, this is upgrade. So these are the four things, right? So creature. I can see there's lots of creatures. There's some more artifacts. Action, and then creature. So I think I'm getting an action. Okay, so I can see that I have tons of creatures. So this is a creature deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think 16 is the average. 17, 18. So it has 2 more. Not massively, massive amount. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think the average is 14, so it has a little bit more actions. And then for artifacts, I have 2 artifacts. 2 artifacts is a standard, maybe a bit low. Upgrades, at least one is fine, one is a bit on the low side as well. And then the other thing that you should do is to check the number of cards that provide you instant amber. So there is no creature that gives you instant amber, like Time Traveler would give you 1. And then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 7, 8. So I only have 8 cards in my deck that gives me, 8 cards that give me 1 amber each, so 8 amber instantaneously. That's pretty poor. Usually I have decks that can give me 16 amber. I mean, that's my best one, just by playing cards. So this is quite low on generating amber on its own. So the focus is going to be obviously having Brobnar and having this. So basically Brobnar usually is to be very strong, right? Very strong, to keep creatures from turn to turn, protect other creatures if you can. But I don't see any taunt here. These usually, they're very, very annoying creatures, but I only have 4, so that's not a massive help, having only 4 these creatures. They are usually very annoying, like this one captures 3, so you can play it at the right time, returning artifacts and cards and creatures. This one reduces the number of cards that the opponent uses. This one, they have to pay you every time they have to pay you 1 amber every time they use an artifact, so they're very annoying. I'm a bit disappointed I didn't get more of these cards. And then, yes, I have lots of pretty weak, like 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 9, right? From Mars. So it's not a fantastic deck, this one. I would say it's my weakest. But it's okay. You can always get a lot of fun out of it. And it's always fun to look for the combos, and try to... It's even more of a challenge to try to make a rubbish deck perform well. So, I also do that, and you can always swap decks with your opponent, so you can play once with your deck, and then you can swap in the next round, like we do in tournaments. Okay, so now some tips about the strategy. So one of the things that I would like to warn you is, about overextending, right? So if we have, let's imagine we have lots. I have loads and loads of creatures on my board, in my battle line, and I'm milking it, and reaping, and I'm having so much fun, and I'm very happy. It has so many cards, and then why is this not such a great idea? It's because of cards like Coward's End, right? Because with Coward's End you can wipe the entire board of creatures. Somebody can play this on you, and then all of these creatures go to the discard pile. They are gone, and then you don't have that many more creatures left. This deck has 18 creatures, which is quite a lot, but other decks have fewer, and then if you only have action cards and artifacts and upgrades, then it's going to be very hard for you to win. So I would, and if you find someone like me with 2 Coward's Ends in the hand, right, you're going to have a hard time keeping the creatures on the board. So that's something that I've heard being called overextending. So you overreached. So my suggestion to you is that you should always aim to have, if you can generate 3 amber, if you can collect for your pool, if you can put 3 amber every turn, you are doing very well. So you don't need to have more. So what I usually do is, if I have, for example, with this combination, you have 2 Brobnar, one this, you are never going to have 3 in one turn, right? So if you can have, for example, there you go, you got now 3 creatures that are Brobnar. So then you can select Brobnar, and then I reap. You don't have to fight. You win this game. You win this game by reaping, by collecting amber, not by fighting and winning fights and being the more powerful guy, right? This is not like Magic, and it can be quite counterintuitive if you just started with Keyforge. So if I do reap, I get 3 amber. I'm very happy. I should be very happy, right? And I don't have to, and I can keep these other cards that I could have played. I can keep them in my hand, and then if somebody comes, that's Coward's End, they're all gone. They are like laughing, ha ha ha! I got those joke. And then the next time you say Brobnar, and you say, there you go, I got another 4. And instead of reaping 3, I'm gonna be reaping 4 now this time. So you are ready. And some people I've heard online as well, that people saying that you should cycle through your deck like there's no tomorrow. No, you should always play as many cards as you can. I could agree and disagree. So there are some decks that are more prone to cycling, and we can explore that in other videos. I will, if I get one of these decks about cycling, I have one already. Usually they involve logos. If you can get loads of cards, or you can play, you have things that give you cards and everything, it's good to cycle through them, and you don't care much about losing them. That's good, but if you keep adding cards to this battle line, the other opponent is gonna be really looking for the Coward's End or equivalent in another house to wipe all of them in one go. So I always have my plan B. I have my plan B with my other creatures, and then I can recover from that Coward's End. And the opponent is gonna be with 3 chains, right? So they're gonna be taking a long time, some penalties there, not drawing cards, and then you can recover instantaneously in the next turn. Now, what happens with me, right? What happens with me if I have 2 Coward's End, right? And then just imagine that somebody else has some cards. Let's say that this is against me, right? They're playing against me. They have this 4. I'm having a hard time. Let's say I have this 4 as well, and I reap with Brobnar, and then maybe it's a good idea. If you're having a hard time, you can just play the Coward's End, right? It's no problem. If we wipe all of them, usually the key, is you should try to maybe, for example, making fighting with Wardrummer, for example, to get some damage on your more powerful card. In this case, for example, 5-speeder would be perfect. So well, not 5-speeder would be perfect. That would be absolutely the opposite of what you want to do, because if you attack Wardrummer with the 5-speeder, it's going to give 1 damage of everything, and when you do Coward Scent, then they're going to remain. You want to do the opposite, you know, so you will basically rip, and then with this one you fight to Wardrummer, he goes, Cramp, and then he gets a damage, and then you wipe the entire board, and then you still have Cramp, right? And then you were very following my advice, and then you have some cards already waiting for you, and then you can recover in the next turn, for example. So okay, so that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be producing more and more videos. I will be unboxing more of this and analyzing all these decks, giving you tips. There is another way of analyzing decks. You can go to the Keyforge Compendium, and then they have a deck analyzer there. It gives you a different flavor. So they have 4 parameters: A, B, C, and E. They don't have D or something. And anyway, one is A is for Amber, so it will tell you everything about Amber, how much you can produce. So it gives you a score for that. Then B is board, and then how much you can control, how many creatures you have, how much influence you can control the board. And then you have C. C is for control the Amber. So with C, you basically steal, capture, make the opponent lose Amber, this kind of trickery. And then you have the E one, or D or E, I cannot remember, which is the special one, and it's a bit like a mix of the rest, how many cards you can draw, the capacity for archiving cards, and all that kind of thing. So it's like a catch-all. And then what they do is they combine those. They have a lot of. They have the spreadsheet that you can actually go and have a look at the spreadsheet how they do it, and they have combined all the cards for each one of the houses, and they have split them according to all these 4 dimensions. And then what they do is they have a consistency score. So the consistency is like they will get the score for Amber, for A, B, C, and E, right? And they will add them all. So if you are above the average, you will get a positive score for each one of the 4 dimensions. If you are below the average, like for example, I was below the average on Amber production, so my A score in this one is very poor. So it will be a negative number. And then you add the A, B, C, E together, and if you have a negative score, then it's a poor deck, or a very inconsistent deck. You might be amazing on one of the dimensions, and you should focus on playing on that dimension. Or if you have a high score, a positive high score, that means that you have a very well-rounded deck that you can do basically everything, and the higher your score, the better is your deck. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and any kind of comments, just put them down. Okay, thank you. Bye.